Hey there, and welcome. Today we're going to step into a world seen through a very different pair of eyes, sapphire blue to be exact. We're about to explore the path to a quieter mind, and our guide is, well, a most unusual and very furry teacher.
So let's kick things off with this central idea. Just imagine for a second that your mind is a plot of land. Every single day, you're planting seeds. So the real question is, are you tending to these beautiful flowers of peace and joy, or are you just kind of letting the weeds of anxiety and worry run wild? And what if I told you there was a way to actually choose which one grows?
So, who is our narrator? Well, let me introduce you. I've had many names, Little Snow Lion, Rinpoche, but you can just call me HHC, for His Holiness's cat. I live a pretty great life, full of luxury and contemplation, but just like so many of us, I have a secret struggle. My mind, it just will not shut up.
So you're probably wondering, right? How does a seemingly enlightened feline, the Dalai Lama's cat no less, end up with a mind buzzing with anxiety? Well, it all started with a very tiny problem. It all kicked off so innocently, a quick nap on some stray dog's doormat. But that nap led to the attack. A sudden, maddening itch, like an invisible army was just crawling all over me. The diagnosis was humiliating. Fleas! And the solution? I was forced to wear this dreaded flea collar while the entire monastery was basically turned upside down all on my account.
And here's the wild part. The cure actually worked. The actual fleas were gone. But the idea of the fleas, they stuck around. I'd be sitting there trying to be all peaceful and meditative, only to be ambushed by these phantom itches. The physical problem was totally solved, but the mental one, that had just begun.
And doesn't this just sound a little too familiar? We've all had them, right? Those mental fleas, a nagging worry about work, replaying an awkward conversation over and over, some fear about the future. They're not real, not right here in this moment, but man, they can sure make us itch and squirm. As I was dealing with my own issues, I started to notice I wasn't alone in this kind of suffering. My attention turned to one of the most vibrant and definitely most stressed people in the monastery, the magnificent chef, Mrs. Chengxi.
Mrs. Chengxi was a force of nature in the kitchen. So passionate, so dramatic, a true genius. But when a delegation from the Vatican was scheduled to visit, her obsession with perfection just went into complete overdrive. The pressure she put on herself was just immense. And then, right after the big dinner, the unthinkable happened, a sudden, terrifying heart attack.
Later, when Mrs. Chengxi met with the Dalai Lama, he offered her this really profound insight. He told her it wasn't the Vatican guests or the complicated menu that caused her heart attack. It was her own mind. The stress wasn't some external force attacking her. It was an internal reaction. And that's when it just clicked for me. It was like a light bulb went off. Mrs. Chengxi's overwhelming stress and my phantom itches, they weren't different problems at all. They came from the exact same source, a mind running completely wild. We were both trapped by our own thoughts.
Okay, so if the problem is a mind running wild, what's the solution? Well, the Dalai Lama began to explain it, and he started with a really crucial distinction between two states of being.
The solution is mindfulness. And the definition is beautifully simple. It's all about paying attention to right here, right now. It's not about trying to stop your thoughts, but just being aware of the present moment, on purpose, and without criticizing whatever you find there.
So here's the core difference, right? Mindfulness is experiencing life directly, like the actual taste of your coffee, the feeling of the sun on your fur. Thinking, on the other hand, is creating this running commentary about your life, judging the coffee, worrying if you're going to get sunburned. One is freedom, the other is basically a cage that we build for ourselves.
This little story just captures the whole thing perfectly. See, the student also ate and walked and slept, but his mind was always somewhere else. He was thinking about walking while he was eating, or thinking about his problems while he was trying to sleep. The master, though, was fully present with every single action. That's the secret right there.
And this is the really crucial point. You don't have to be swept away by every single thought. The Dalai Lama explained that thoughts are just like clouds in the sky. They appear, they hang around for a bit, and then they just drift away. They aren't permanent, and they aren't you. You are the sky, not the passing clouds.
Now, once we start observing our thoughts, we often discover something interesting. There's one voice in there that's a lot louder and a lot meaner than all the others, our own inner critic. Just think about it for a second.
We can be so forgiving of our friends' mistakes, right? So understanding when a total stranger has a bad day. But who is it that we hold to an absolutely impossible standard?
Yup, there it is. For most of us, the person we speak to most harshly, the one we judge without any mercy, is the person we see in the mirror.
Take the story of Frank, the guy who owns the local cafe. He hadn't touched a piano in 15 years, but when he finally sat down to play for everyone, it was absolutely breathtaking. But what did he hear? Oh, he only heard the few wrong notes. He completely dismissed the entire performance, calling himself hopeless. His own inner critic just stole all his joy.
And this is the wisdom that helped him. This powerful quote reminds us that trying to achieve some impossible ideal of perfection, well, it often just stops us from enjoying the good, beautiful, and wonderful things we can already do. It just paralyzes us. So, after observing all the humans and wrestling with my own mental fleas, I started to put all these lessons together into my own simple but powerful philosophy.
So here are the steps I kind of figured out. It all starts with just seeing the anxious thoughts for what they are. They're just mental fleas. And understanding that stress really does come from within. The whole practice is about observing thoughts without getting tangled up in them, treating yourself with the same kindness you'd give to a friend, and just constantly, gently returning your focus to the here and now. And I gave it a wonderfully fitting name, The Power of Meow. It's not some big complex doctrine. It's the simple, profound act of just being present. It's that purr of contentment that you can only find in this exact moment.
And so we end up right back where we began, with this question. Every single moment offers you a new choice. Are you going to tend to the weeds of worry and criticism, or are you going to plant the seeds of presence, kindness, and peace? The garden is yours. The choice is yours.